Good afternoon, guys. This is your afternoon update of our long-range winter weather forecast. And couple of notes before I get started. Subscriber made a comment, which was interesting. If we keep the negative PDO, that would be a positive factor for this winter. I also want to point out on top of that, being true that this is our latest run. I'm sorry, it's our June run, and we see a negative EPO pattern set up, which is essentially a big warm ridge of air around Alaska. We also see that in the July run, and essentially what that does is the same thing a negative NAO does, to a certain degree, except they're on opposite ends of the continent. So essentially, it just shoots cold air down to the southeast and eastern portion of the USA. So, excuse me, what we're going to do in this update is we're going to compare every single model, because I gave you that hint last night or this morning on how everything's starting to turn around to a cold winter. And even the warm model, the Euro, is showing signs of starting to cool down. So we're starting to lean in that option. So unless something really drastic happens, which I don't foresee, like the models shift warm, all of them, in a few months from now, I just, that doesn't really seem logical that would happen because they're all starting to trend progressively cold. So, all right, we're going to check out them one by one, starting with our June Jamstack run. Again, here's our 2-meter air temperature anomalies. And that does look kind of like a Modikai El Nino now that I look back at it. But again, these are the 2-meter air temperature anomalies, not the sea surface temperature anomalies. So essentially, you see all that cold air packed into the eastern portion of the USA. Now, taking a look at our latest run, again, we see cold air in the same area. It's shrunk down a little bit, but still we have what we need, which is, let's take a look at our sea surface temperature anomalies. And oh, by the way, I tried to get this picture bigger. We'll see how that turns out in the end result of this video. But again, here's our December through February sea surface temperature anomalies for our latest July run. And this is definitely more indicative of a Modikai, where you see the warmest waters in the equatorial Pacific towards the central Pacific more than towards the eastern Pacific near South America. So pattern looks great off this model. Let's take a look at our Euro. We're going to flip to a warm version of this winter. And again, this is November, December, and January, so it's missing February because it doesn't go out that far yet. But even this, off our latest July run, if you look at right down there in Louisiana near New Orleans, it's starting to get some cold there. So we're starting to see some signs of the Euro, the warmest model of, as far as I know, turning cold. So that's good news. Taking a look at our precip for the Euro, we'll do a seasonal. And again, the one most common factor out of the top three, one of the most out of the top three is our subtropical jet we see developing. So that's the European model. And then we go to our CANSIPS, our Canadian model, and here's our December and January and February forecast for temperatures, and this is cold too. So again, so far we have 3 out of 4 that are cold. And just to take a look at the precip off the Canadian model, again, that subtropical jet is, when you see alignment, you'd say, okay, models are onto something. So, all right, now taking a look at, we did our Canadian, a Euro, and 2 Jamsticks. So that's all 4 I really wanted to get to. So just as a brief conclusion, again, taking a quick peek back at the temperatures off all of these models. So again, here's our July run for the Jamstack, June, both cold. And then we go to our Canadian temperature anomalies for winter. That's cold. And then we go to our Euro seasonal, which we'll go to our temperatures. And that's the one outlying warm, but it's starting to turn colder. So yeah. Ultimately, I want to pinpoint three main points that are common themes or common threads throughout all of these model runs that are aligned in alignment. Is one, we have the subtropical jet. Two is we have, again, more so cold than warm predominantly in the modeling. And the third aspect is the ENSO, that it's was it the ENSO? I literally forgot, but so we have two definite. So the subtropical jet's a definite. The cold air is a definite for most models, 75% of them. And I'm just gonna go with that last one, just out of the top of my brain. The what was it? Subtropical jet, cold winter setup, and the ENSO, I would say, which is a common thread. Every single model is predicting an El Nino. I'm sure there's models that are more Mordecai than other runs, but yeah. So we're definitely looking towards a colder version of this winter. So right now it's looking very good. Just got to continue to monitor these models and hope that these continue to progressively trend colder. And who knows, maybe they'll go a little bit even more colder month by month. So, all right, guys, that's all I have for you now. Thank you for your 7 minutes of your time. This is Tyler's World of Weather. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Like, comment, share, subscribe for more long-range weather content. Peace.